to go back here to the ski hire shop. I'm going to make my window half size. All right, now that we've got them side by side, we're going to go up here and we're going to create all of our fields. So we're going to type in here customer ID, and we're going to go last name, first name. So I'm just going to fast forward and get through all these fields. Now that we've got all of our field names entered, we'll just specify the data types. So auto number obviously is what we want, last name, short text, blah, blah. These things are all done for us already. Probably when we get down to ski or board, that's short text as well actually, cost, here we go. So pretty much all these ones underneath here are going to be numbers and they're going to be costs. So we're going to change that to number because numbers will allow for formulas to work. We can, when we've chosen number, we can then specify later on in its settings to be currency as well. So don't worry too much about picking that one. Just go with number for now. And there we go. So we've set up our table to have all the different fields that we want. And if we change it back to data sheet view, it'll ask us to save because Access will always ask you to save everything. Press yes, go back. And you'll notice that we have our first record, which has nothing in it because we haven't typed in a customer yet. But pretty much a field is a spot where you type in, and a record is the entire line of fields that relate to this one person. So we're going to just add someone in. We're going to call this person Biffo. Oh, that's their last name. So let's call them, I don't know, Higgins. And then Biffo, birthday. So we're going to have all drop down lists and everything for this stuff later on, but for now we're just going to shove some data in so you can see what's going on. So we're going to go with the first of the first 1985, except that's not a 19. We're going to say ski. We're going to say it's going to cost him 75, jacket's going to cost him 30, except that's 300. Just make that a bit smaller again so you can remember what the costs were. Let's just make them all the costs that were suggested. So 35, pants 35, gloves 20, helmet 20, goggles 30, chains 15, and lift ticket 125. Okay, so there we have our first customer and all their information. Now, generally a database would have like thousands of entries or maybe hundreds. So this is why you'd use something like this instead of using like a spreadsheet to do all this for you. Because if it was a short-term kind of thing, the spreadsheet would probably be easier. But if we're thinking long-term with lots of data, this kind of setup is a little bit easier. Now, just to recap a few things, obviously we can change between the different views. This is where we do our editing. This is where we see it. If you would like to create a new table, you go to the Create tab, and you can create a new table here. And then you can just like we did before, you'd rename it and keep making your stuff. A few other things we'll be looking at a bit later. We've got queries, which are sort of like sorting forms, which will allow us to input our information a little bit easier. Because what we just did there was a little bit lame-o how we had to type it all in manually and scroll across this table. Forms are like user-friendly versions that will run in the foreground. Reports will be used to print off information. So once the person has filled in all their data, we can give them like a form that will be like a printer-friendly version of their information. Thanks for watching this one, and once you're done and you've made this, I would like you to save your database and move on to the next tube.